Well, this is episode 3 of the Dark Horde podcast, I guess. 3 episodes in. So I figure I start out with a little bit of a copyright situation. So, hey, why not? Ghostbusters! So that was an audio clip from the Ghostbusters game on the Commodore 64. For you guys who were old school gamers, like before Nintendo, Commodore 64, right there for you. This is the Dark Horde podcast. I am Andy Moonraker, and I am your host. Now, when I farted, it's gonna be one of those podcasts. When I first started the podcast, I was thinking, it's going to be really hard to find news stories regarding the paranormal because a lot of people, you don't really see that a lot. You don't see people talking about the paranormal anywhere. But I guess you have to look. You have to take a good, hard look at what's going on. And you got to have the right keywords, apparently, because there is paranormal stuff. They don't wait till Halloween. There's stuff going on. There's craziness. There's a lot of things that people just do in the realm of the paranormal. They really do. Green Man's in the live chat. For those of you who are listening to the podcast for the first time, the podcast, when it's broadcasting, it broadcasts live on Spreaker.com. But the only way that you're going to know if it's live, it's by the notifications. That's the only way. Otherwise, if you're listening anywhere else, like on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever the hell else you're listening, you're not going to know that the podcast is live. And again, this is a Dark Horde, and I got Dave. Dave is on now on the live chat. Thank you for listening. Welcome aboard. Like I was saying, initially when I started the podcast, I was thinking, hey, there is just no way that I'm going to have news stories. But I do. It is very strange. Now, just like in UFOs and aliens, you come across the fake ones. And I came across a few in which people were saying that they were hoaxes. So even the paranormal stories get hoaxed. That's just the way it goes. Warden 88 is live and in person. Now, the one thing that I was saying early on was that I was going to get myself a spirit box because in February, which is today, but I didn't do this today. I wanted to start going out there and checking out different places within the state of Texas to go and have some fun. Now, I am going to put this out there. I've been watching that series, Halier, and for those of you who have been watching Halier, it's on YouTube now, so you don't have to go out of your way to have some kind of fucking cable subscription. But you can, if you watch that, there's a thing that we myself and my buddies, we always talk about synchronicities because it seems to happen a lot. And sad to say that I had a lot of synchronicities just looking for news to talk about today. So by the way, here's the little spirit box. Here's how it sounds. I don't know if you'll pick it up, but It does a lot of crazy stuff, so I'm going to just play it for you. I'm not going to ask any questions, but I did ask a question earlier, and before we go to our first music break, I'll let you know what that is. Hold on a second.
Xbox. Scanning. FM.
There you go. It's scanning right now. I know, that probably gave you a headache. Actually about an hour ago, I was scanning it, and I asked a question, and the question was, are the 49ers, San Francisco that is, are they going to win the Super Bowl? And believe it or not, there was a response that came out of this thing, and it said by a foot. Yeah, by a foot. I don't know what that means. Really, when I think about by the foot, I'm thinking by a foot. I'm thinking maybe a last minute 6-point touchdown, maybe, or maybe the extra point or 2-point conversion. I don't know. Or it could be that Kansas City is going to miss getting a touchdown or scoring in that fourth quarter by a foot. That's the answer I got. This is a funky little toy. We have Gooter on here as well. It's a full house, folks. Everybody's in there listening. We got 2 stories. One of them is a bargain dressed in some really scary situations if you're looking for a house. And the other one is, what was the other story? Yeah, the other story is a little crazy itself because it goes to the other side of the paranormal, the hairy kind. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Adam Baum has joined the podcast live. This is, like I said, the Dark Horde, episode number 3. There are some synchronicities I want to talk about, so you guys get ready for that. Thanks to that show earlier. The other thing is, I want to say too, recently someone somewhat psychic said that I apparently was opening myself to the veil to see things, and I swear to God, it's like fucking programming. All of a sudden, I see shadows everywhere, and they're moving constantly. Like the other day, I actually took off my glasses just to see if I still saw the shadows, and put them on, take them off, put them on. Fuck! The shadows will not go away. It could be the rum, I don't know. I'm not too sure about it. But, yeah, it's a crazy situation. So if any psychics are out there, you want to talk about this, you want to come on here and tell me why all of a sudden I've got shadow people everywhere, please school me. The title for this particular article, Whispers Estate in Indiana for sale for $130,000, and the ghosts are included. This is a crazy story. Now, if you're looking at your handy dandy mobile device and you have a picture that's the image for the podcast, that you're looking at is the Victorian mansion that actually it dates back to the 1890s, and it's for sale now. Kind of like we were talking about that the killer grandma from last week, how her particular house out in California was part of tours. So is this one. Yeah, this one's on tours also, but somebody fucking lives in it. What is wrong with people these days? Are you shitting me right now? You get the fuck out and stay out. Jeez Louise. So the house is up for sale, and according to the current agent, the real estate agent that's selling it, she says this, it's actually in a gorgeous home, which really, if you go to this article, the very first one on the description, you have pictures of the outside, the inside. The inside looks scary as fuck, I'm not going to lie. It looks like Annabelle lived in that shit. That's all I'm saying. This is not someplace I would feel comfortable in, not even visiting on a fucking tour. I'm just saying. It looks like the Annabelle's home. That's where she retired after she made all those movies and got all that big cash. The doll just moved into this fucking house. So the real estate agent says it's in really good shape for as old as it is. Her name is Heather Bland. If you decide you want to go check that house out. And Heather's saying, hey, it's only $130,000. Yeah, the furniture stays in the house. That's a bad sign. That is a very bad sign. You would at least want the fucking thing empty because, they say spirits and ghosts attach themselves to objects. I don't want to sit in a chair and be felt up by a ghost. It's not cool. The whole thing is not cool. It is a 3,700 square foot home, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2 floors, and it is fantastic. It is, I'm telling you, I think it would sell better if people would get the fucking furniture the hell out of there and do something with the woodwork. It looks like every fucking haunted movie you ever seen. That's what, and maybe they did that on purpose. I don't know. The house itself has been featured in quite a few shows dealing with the paranormal, and people go in all the fucking time to do like spirit boxes, EVPs, and they pick up some crazy shit. Now, I was going to, go against the copyright gods again and download somebody's EVP session, but, this time I said no. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. But I'm just going to tell you what people hear in this house, whether they're visiting or sleeping over. And for God's sake, when they're not sleeping in this house. Some of the things that they've reported is, number one, a child seen running through the house. Yeah. You've seen the movies, folks. Come on. A smell of baby powder in one of the rooms. Children singing or crying. Doorknobs jiggling. The doors popping open. Crazy. There is a room where the original owner died. And in that room, you are woken up by sounds of coughing and labored breathing. Let's just get into what's going on. I'll tell you right now, no fucking around. This is crazy. Because I would walk in there like a Ghostbuster. Like I would have my proton pack just going. Yeah. I'm telling you, ask me if I'm a god. I will say yes. I would zap one of those fuckers immediately and sell the fucking house. Probably for a whole lot less, like maybe like $200. Somebody take it off my hand because that's just freaking ridiculous. So here's some things about the house. Apparently the Whispers estate, there's a reason why they call it Whispers, wink wink, was built in 1894. In 1889 or 1901, Dr. John and Jesse Gibbons purchased the house from the original owners, Dr. George and Sarah White. Dr. John and Jesse Gibbons reportedly adopted abandoned orphan children. I mean, why not? I mean, if you're a sick-ass doctor, you're going to have crazy experiments in it. Why not, put them in a haunted house, right? But no, there's no stories of them abusing the kids or nothing. They seem to be like good people, all-around people in the early, late 1800s. They were good guys. One of the children they adopted, a 10-year-old girl named Rachel, started a fire in the front porch. Not porch, a parlor. This is why you don't adopt crazy-ass kids. I'm just saying. Well, sadly enough, she was badly burned, and she died 2 days later in one of the upstairs bedrooms. See, this is where the problem begins. You got a little girl you adopted from who the fuck knows where. She starts a fire, gets burned, and dies in your house. That is an omen just to begin with. Don't screw around. It's time to think about selling the place. At that point, I would have started thinking about it. I mean, I don't see being able to live in any house where somebody dies, especially somebody I knew. Like, they adopted this girl and she died. It's time to get the fuck out. Sign number 1. Later on, a 10-month-old infant named Elizabeth died in the master bedroom of unknown causes. Well, shit, Rachel came back and killed her off. That's my guess. I'm just putting it out there. But anyway, the little girl died. And to this day, it turns out that people, when they go into that master bedroom, they smell baby powder. Like, I didn't even know they had baby powder back in the 1890s. I thought it was all raw all the time. Yeah. So Jesse, Dr. John and Jesse Gibbons, Jesse died in the house as well. I mean, fuck. This is your horror movie right here. Jesse kicked the bucket in the same bedroom after suffering through double pneumonia. Now, I actually need to look this up. I have no idea what the hell is double pneumonia. I guess it's in 2 lungs. I don't know. I don't know. And it turns out the guests that sleep in the room often wake up to labored breathing and coughing. Some even report feelings as if someone is sitting on their chest. I don't know why haven't they just freaking torn the damn building down? That's what I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know. It's a mystery to me. Apparently, the most common paranormal activity that is actually experienced in the master bedroom is the doorknob to the closet. Now, I want you to picture this, right? You got a doctor, Dr. Gibbons, Mrs. Dr. Gibbons, and they're adopting kids, little kids, as you see, because they're being killed off in the house. And what do kids like to do? They like playing. They like sitting in closets and having fun, right? Little kids do that shit all the time. They go into closets, they play hide and seek and stuff like that. Well, it turns out that this closet that's in the master bedroom, apparently, it likes to jiggle from here and there. The knob itself, it actually jiggles, but that's not the end of it. The door likes to open as well, all on its own, while people are there. Like, folks, get rid of the fucking house. Get out of it. No one should be able to sell this house. There are places that really should be condemned altogether. Gone. This is it. But if you have $130,000 sitting around, you got nothing else to do, or you just got kicked out of your house, you just sold it, and you want a place that's happening at night, really cool place where you can bring people over and scare the shit out of them, this is it. $130,000 gets you ghost furniture. The Gibbons family, the whole fucking Gibbons family will be there with you to celebrate this momentous occasion of your home purchase. Completely nuts. There's some other stories here regarding the place and things that happen. Some of the owners suggest that the encounters themselves are not too bad, right? One person actually gave the advice, if you don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with you. Or just a little, lightly. In 2006, the previous owner bought the house after being vacant for a few years. During the restoration, activity started to happen, right? It turns out that the people that were in there, they were guests, and the people that are trying to help renovate were hearing disembodied voices repeating to them phrases, words in their ears. That's when you get the hell out. Out. Gone. Could you imagine the things? I didn't find anything that would say what they were hearing. But I could imagine. You look at those movies, you guys know. You'll be hearing things like, kill her. Yeah. Yeah. The pizza guy will never pizza guy shows up, kill him. It's not going to be, oh, don't give him a tip. No, it's going to be rip his throat out. That's what it's going to be. But there you go. $130,000 gets you this cozy little house. It's a beautiful thing from the outside. Yeah, it really is. But on the inside, that place is fucked up. I'm trying to make the podcast a little scary with all these sounds, but the thing is that when I start talking, it's just not scary at all. It really isn't, to be honest. I can't make it happen. So we'll keep the little sounds going around here, back and forth in the background, trying to make it a little nice for y'all, but who knows. Now, okay, here's my confession here. So I've been watching this series on YouTube called Hellier. And it has to do with fuckers, I don't know. I think they're being hoaxed. And they're looking for a gargoyle of sorts in Kentucky, right? And some of you might have watched it. I don't know. But today I watched Season 2, Episode 3. And there was a lot of talk about things dealing with the Illuminati and cults and stuff like that. Well, I had some information come to me that kind of rang true. But when I saw this, that was a bit of a synchronicity type thing. Then I started looking for news articles for today, or stories basically dealing with the rest of the paranormal, not UFOs and aliens. I came up with a story related to Bigfoot. You guys know who he is. Big hairy ass guy, not your uncle, not that guy. Not your grandfather either. Though grandparents could pass for Bigfoot because they got hair coming up out of all kind of orifices, to be honest. Like, they really, like I knew a guy that he really looked like he was wearing an earmuff, like a real nice fairy earmuff, and it just had too much hair in his ears, and no one would like help him out and shave that shit. The story here is that Bigfoot, a Washington traffic agency, tweets a photo of, well, something. CNN actually covered this, and you know what? I didn't even see it because I don't even watch TV anymore. I'm too scared. Is that Bigfoot? Someone in Washington State Department of Transportation certainly thinks so, and there's a chance that it could be. There is a photo on this particular article. Check the description, click on it. It's a tweet. It is a tweet from the Washington State Department of Transportation, and it's a snowy area. So there's a lot of white. That's all I'm saying. And it's not a Yeti or a abominable snowman, more like it. This is Bigfoot. And he's a dark figure. Does not look like someone that's dressed in any kind of a costume or wearing anything or like heavy clothing because it's cold outside. Looks like a fucking Bigfoot. Check out the picture when you get a chance. The Twitter account for the agency shared the traffic camera photo, and they said this: Sasquatch spotted. And it says, I'm not superstitious, just a little stitious. Haha, wink wink. That was like a traffic cam humor. Yeah, so they don't know whether it's a person running or what's going on, but it happened at the eastern part of the state, and it was tweeted last Wednesday. And it says, the tweet continued to say, if you look closely by the tree on the left, there looks to be something. Yeah, you don't have to be a cryptozoologist to figure this one out. It looks like a Bigfoot thing going on there. I really didn't think we would find stories like this about Bigfoot, but there it is, just last Wednesday. So Bigfoot is out there somewhere. The actual picture was taken not too far from Sherman Pass. If you're out in Washington and you want to go shake a leg out there and, try to search for him, you can. There were some people who were tweeting back saying, zoom in, it's a tree trunk. I want to believe, but I don't believe this picture or that he stood still in multiple photos, unless he is frozen, of course, laugh out loud. The webcam is still posting photos from the spot. A new one appears every hour. So, fascinating to look at. Is it a tree trunk? I don't know. It looks like something in motion. But, maybe we're all facing bouts of pareidolia, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. Now, here's a synchronicity that I kind of came through when looking at this photo. The earlier episodes has to do with the Mammoth Cave National Park from the Mammoth Cave system. First synchronicity is that the law enforcement rangers with the Mammoth Cave National Park responded to the incident involving a camper with a firearm at one of the park's backcountry campsites in that same area about a year ago. And the reason why they responded there was because somebody shot off a gun a few times trying to take out Bigfoot. So about a year ago, there was another Bigfoot incident in the same. Maybe some fucker was shooting at the tree trunks. I don't know. I don't know what kind of alcohol they got out there. But again, synchronicity, yeah. No kidding. There was another situation where something like this happened in Kentucky's National Park. Same thing, Bigfoot again. Ladies and gentlemen, Bigfoot is live and well. I really thought that all these different conventions looking for Bigfoot, I thought they were pulling my leg. They were like going over shit that happened like years ago. No. Bigfoot is out there, and he's fucking with traffic cams. Warden 88 says aliens are hairy. And they could be. There could be. There's a lot of stories out there that say that Bigfoot was dropped off by E.T., just to screw with us, I guess. I don't even know why. Why would they do that? Who knows? Dave says Bigfoot vultures into the city. A day and a night in the life of a mysterious myth became fact. Yeah. That's true. He was probably out having a good time and made it home a little late. Blue Chicken says, that's what she said. Oh, a gooter is a skunk ape in South U.S. I thought. Skunk ape, I don't know about that, but I guess we'd have to see. Here's another synchronicity. Apparently there's skunks in my area. I had no idea. This is the episode for today. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to look at these stories that are linked in the description. And if any of you want to go in and buy that nice little place, the Whisper Estate, because you're lonely, you have no one to cuddle up with you at night, so you figure a few ghosts will do you well, let me know. We'll go up there together so I can tape your last days on the planet Earth, because they're going to fuck you over, because ghosts don't play around. Don't forget to follow, share, and talk about the podcast to somebody other than me. Thank you guys for joining. Ciao.